Hi everyone, this is Bubbles from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you the lovely cropped vest. This vest consists of the body, the back piece, the front piece, and the edging. Start by crocheting the body first, and then complete the pieces for the chest. Finally, crochet the edging. Let's start by learning how to crochet the body. It is made up of a corresponding number of motifs, except for the first motif. All other motifs need to be crocheted while connecting them to the previous ones. The motifs are all started with the chain ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. The stitch techniques used include chain stitches and slip stitches, single crochet, half double crochet, and the front post double crochet of a DC3 bobble stitch. This piece of clothing comes in solid color versions, variegated color versions, and also versions crocheted by combining two types of yarns. When crocheting with variegated yarn, different starting positions for the yarn tail will result in different effects. You can choose the corresponding color segment based on your preference to crochet. When crocheting with two types of yarns combined, one of the yarns needs to be separated into strands before combining them to crochet. Below, I will demonstrate the method for separating the strands. Let me show you the method for taking thread from the gem twist yarn. You can see, the gem twist yarn is a bundle of threads woven together. Find any position where the thread is woven and cut it. Gently shake off any small loose ends. The cut forms a yarn tail like this, and a few loops. Gently pull the yarn tail. Pay attention to picking the yarn tail out from the loops. The loops will loosen. Make sure to pull gently. If after pulling a few stitches, you find the tail end has a knot, then untie the knot at that part of the yarn tail. Or choose another nearby section of the weave and cut it again. Repeat the previous steps. Until all the loops come undone one by one as you pull the yarn tail. Then combine the strand of gem twist yarn that you unraveled. With another yarn into a group for crocheting. When we refer to a single strand later on, it actually means a group like this. We won't repeat this explanation going forward. Next, let's start crocheting the first motif. For convenience in watching, I will use cotton yarn for this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Start with a magic ring. Crochet 6 chain stitches. Then connect it back to the first chain stitch. Pick up the half double crochet on top and slip stitch. Pay attention, make sure the chain stitches don't twist. Pull tight. That's how you complete the starting chain. Next, we'll crochet the first round. Work one chain stitch to begin. Then in the large space of the starting ring, crochet the corresponding number of single crochets. Weave in the yarn tails as you go. If it gets too tight to continue, shift the part you've already crocheted a little to the right. Join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. That completes the first round. The side with the starting chain yarn tail is the wrong side. The other side is the right side. Always work with the right side facing you when crocheting. Now let's move on to the second round. Chain 1 to begin, then work 1 single crochet in the same stitch where you joined. Next, crochet 4 chain stitches as a space. Skip 1 single crochet. Work 1 single crochet in the next adjacent stitch. Then chain 4. Skip 1 single crochet. Work 1 single crochet. Continue in this way. Complete the round. After finishing the last 4 chains, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. That's how you complete the second round. Now let's move on to crocheting the third round. Make 1 beginning chain, then work 1 single crochet in the left chain space. Work 1 half double crochet. Work 3 double crochets. Work 1 half double crochet. And 1 single crochet. After completing, continue working the same stitch pattern in the left chain space. Continue in this way. Work this round completely. After finishing, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Tighten the yarn. That's how you complete the third round. Now let's move on to crocheting the fourth round. Make 1 beginning chain, then in the second round, behind the first single crochet, pick up approximately 1-2 strands of yarn, and work 1 single crochet. After finishing, crochet 8 chain stitches. Then, in the adjacent single crochet of the second round, pick up 2 strands of yarn from the back, and make another single crochet. For this round, you will be working on the back loops of the second round, picking up 2 strands of yarn behind each single crochet, and making single crochets between each. Chain 8. Continue repeating this process. Work this round completely. After completing, slip stitch into the first single crochet, and join. Tighten the yarn. That completes the fourth round. Now let's work on the fifth round. Make 1 beginning chain. Then, in the left chain space, crochet 1 single crochet, crochet 1 half double crochet, 6 double crochets. One half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Let's take a look. The working method for this round is similar to the third round. Just crochet the corresponding stitches into the chain spaces. Complete this round. After finishing, slip stitch and tighten. That's how you complete the fifth round. Now move on to the sixth round. Make 1 beginning chain in the first single crochet of the fourth round. Pick up the 2 threads from behind, and make a single crochet. Then work 6 chains. After finishing, in the corresponding chain space of the fourth round, work 3 single crochets between the 2 double crochets. Pay attention, insert the hook into the middle of the double crochets from the fifth round. After completing, work 6 chain stitches. Then on the fourth round, pick up the 2 threads from behind the second single crochet, and make 1 single crochet. Let's take a look. This round involves picking up threads from behind the corresponding single crochets of the fourth round. Work single crochets by picking up the threads corresponding to the chain spaces in the fourth round. Work double crochets and chain stitches. Continue below using this method. Finish this round completely. After crocheting, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. That completes the 6th round. Next, we'll crochet the 7th round. Make 1 beginning chain. Then work the corresponding stitches in the chain space on the left side. After completing, work 1 double crochet on the adjacent double crochet, work 1 FPDC3 bobble. The technique for this stitch is, first, pick up this double crochet, and work 3 incomplete front post double crochets. Let's start with the first one. Yarn over, insert the hook from right to left through the entire double crochet. Yarn over, then draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. That's the first incomplete front post double crochet. Work 2 more in the same stitch. Then yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook. That completes 1 FPDC3 bobble. We'll refer to this as a FPDC3 bobble moving forward. Next, in the adjacent chain space, work 3 double crochets. Then work 1 CH3SL picket. Start by making 3 chains. Insert the hook under the strand of the double crochet stitch in front, and pull up a loop with the strand below to make 1 slip stitch. That completes the CH3SL picket. Continue by working 3 more double crochets in the same chain space. After completing those stitches, work 1 FPDC3 bobble on the adjacent double crochet stitch. Once done, in the next chain space, work 6 double crochets. One half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Let's take a look. The stitches you just worked can be considered as 1 petal. For this round, you'll be working into the chain spaces corresponding to the stitch patterns you've made. Work front post double crochets on each double crochet stitch. After completing them, they will form a petal. Continue below using the same method. Work this round completely. Once finished, join with the first single crochet using a slip stitch. Tighten. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Hide the yarn tails on the wrong side. A complete motif is now crocheted. You can see that the stitch technique used in the corresponding chain spaces roughly forms 6 petals. This completes the first motif. Now let's crochet the second motif. The working method is identical to the first motif. However, when crocheting the final round, connect it with the adjacent motif. Below, everyone follows the previously learned method. Refer to the pattern chart. Crochet everything before the last round. After crocheting, learn the final round's crochet and connection. Now, let's show. I will demonstrate using a small sample. The fabric piece is not for reference. Only the method will be demonstrated. Continue with the previous yarn tail. Make one beginning chain. Then crochet the first petal. After completing it, proceed with the next 2 petals. You need to connect the corresponding positions of the previous motif. The connection points can be referenced from the chart. You can also connect any 2 petals. Here, I will connect the second and third petals. Let's start by crocheting the second petal. First, crochet the corresponding stitch in the next chain space. After finishing, crochet front post double crochets on the double crochets. Then, in the adjacent chain space, crochet 3 double crochets first. After completing it, you need to connect in the corresponding picket chain space of the adjacent motif. Make 1 slip stitch. Insert the hook from the wrong side to the right side. Pay attention, this slip stitch is marked as an oval shape, which means not to pull too tight. Then, on the third double crochet, pick up the strand in front and the strand below, then make 1 more slip stitch. Below, continue by making 3 more double crochets in the same chain space. Continue to complete this petal. After finishing, take a look. For joining, replace the picket stitch location from the previous crochet with 2 slip stitches. Work these slip stitches on the corresponding motifs respectively. Next, let's work the third petal and join it. On the petal that was just joined, connect the adjacent petal next to it. When you encounter joining positions later, follow this method to crochet. Continue and complete this round. There's no connection needed when crocheting the next part of this motif. After finishing, slip stitch and tighten. Leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in ends. That's it, the second motif is completed. Next, refer to the pattern, and keep crocheting until you finish the 12th motif. Here, I'll explain using a sample swatch. Except for the 12th motif, all other motifs are joined twice. For the 12th motif, it needs to be joined 4 times. Connect it with both the adjacent motif and the first motif. After connecting, it will form a tube shape. The joining method is the same as before. Below, you can follow the chart to crochet. Next, let's start crocheting the 13th motif. By referring to the pattern chart, you can see that this motif needs to be connected to both the adjacent motif and the first motif. Make sure you finish crocheting all the parts that need connecting first. I've already finished these parts ahead of time here. Now let's proceed with the connection. Similarly, for the connecting positions of this motif, you can refer to the chart. You may also connect at any position you prefer. Start by connecting it to the 12th motif. After finishing the crochet, let's crochet the third petal. First, make sure to finish crocheting all parts before connecting. Now let's move on to the connection. Insert your hook into the same entry position used for the previous connection. That is, the chain space of this picket stitch. Here, you can also pick up about 1-2 strands of yarn to crochet. For any previously connected positions later on, you can crochet using this same method. Continue and finish crocheting this petal. After completing it, move on to crochet the 4th petal. Here, connect it to the first motif. Continue and finish crocheting this motif. After finishing, make a slip stitch. Tighten it. Leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That concludes the 13th motif. Next, everyone refer to the pattern chart. Finish crocheting the remaining motifs for the body. Pay attention. The number of connection points will increase compared to the previous ones. The method of joining is identical for all parts. Everyone can refer to the chart and crochet while connecting accordingly. That concludes the body section. Next, let's learn how to crochet the back panel. It is also made up of motifs. The crocheting method for some motifs here is slightly different. Let's start with the first motif. By referring to the diagram, you can see that the crocheting method for the first 5 rounds is the same as the first motif of the body. The 6th round has a slightly different crocheting method. After completing the last single crochet, work the corresponding number of chain stitches, then finish with a slip stitch. There's no need to make any double crochets. First, everyone refer to the chart and crochet the first 6 rounds. After finishing, we'll move on to crochet the final row. Now, let's show. Make 1 beginning chain. Then start crocheting the petals in the next chain space. Pay attention. Connect the motif that corresponds to the body. Here, you can refer to the chart for connecting the motifs. Alternatively, you can also connect it to any motif on the body. I'll continue demonstrating with the sample. After completing, crochet the adjacent petal and make sure to connect it. After finishing, crochet the 3rd petal and connect it. After completing, crochet 2 more petals. These 2 petals do not need to be connected while crocheting. Leave the remaining positions unworked. Make 1 slip stitch on the adjacent single crochet. Then, leave a tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. This completes the first motif of the back panel. Next, refer to the chart. Continue crocheting all the way down to the 5th motif. The crocheting method and connection method for motifs 2 through 4 are identical to the body. Connect them in the same way as the body. Refer to the chart for the connection points. The crocheting method for the 5th motif is the same as the first motif of the front panel. Only the connection positions are different. Refer to the chart for crocheting and connecting. After completing, let's move on to learning how to crochet the 6th motif. First, follow the chart to complete the first 4 rounds. Then proceed to crochet the 5th row. Make 1 beginning chain. Then refer to the chart. Continue crocheting all the way down to the 2nd to last chain space. Leave the remaining chain spaces unworked after finishing. This completes the 5th row. Now let's move on to the 6th row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn your work. Then crochet a single crochet into the corresponding stitch of the 4th round. From the wrong side, pick up 1-2 loops of yarn and crochet 1 single crochet. After turning, this will be the side facing you. Once completed, crochet 6 chains. Then, crochet 2 double crochets into the corresponding chain space of the 3rd round. Crochet 3 chains in between. After that, crochet 6 more chains. On the adjacent single crochet of the 4th round. From the wrong side, pick up 2 loops of yarn, and crochet 1 single crochet. Then crochet 6 chains again. Continue this process until you finish the row. For the last single crochet, pick up 2 loops of yarn from the wrong side at the start of the 4th round, single crochet and crochet it. After crocheting, the 6th row is complete. Now let's move on to the 7th row. Make 1 beginning chain, turn your work over, then crochet into the chain space from the previous row. Continue on your own to finish this row. Pay attention while crocheting, and connect it to the corresponding motif. Once everything is done, on the single crochet where the previous row started, make 1 slip stitch. After finishing, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That concludes the 6th motif. Next, everyone refer to the pattern, and crochet all the remaining motifs for the back panel. Note that some motifs also require completing the corresponding rounds first, and then crocheting the corresponding rows. When crocheting the last round or the last row, pay attention. As you crochet, join the corresponding motifs. The method is identical to what was used before. Just follow the chart to crochet. That concludes the back piece. Next, let's learn how to crochet the front piece. It is divided into the left front panel and the right front panel. The left and right here refer to when the garment is actually being worn. Let's start with crocheting the right front panel. Again, crochet the corresponding motifs and connect them. Refer to the pattern and crochet the first 2 motifs first. The crochet method for the first motif is the same as the first motif of the back piece. Pay attention when joining. On the back piece, connect it to the motif next to the corresponding one. After crocheting and connecting it, crochet the second motif as well. After that, move on to crochet the third motif. The crochet method for this motif is almost identical to the first complete motif. Here, you only need to crochet about half of it. Now, let's show. Start with a chain ring method. Next, we'll crochet the first row, make 1 beginning chain, then crochet 7 single crochets into the large space. After completing that, the first row is done. Now, let's move on to the second row. Make 1 beginning chain, turn your work, then crochet 1 single crochet into the last single crochet of the previous row. Crochet 1 single crochet. Pay attention to the position of the stitch on the upper left after turning over. Next, chain 4. Skip 1 stitch and crochet 1 single crochet. Continue until you finish this row. After completing that, the second row is done. Now, let's move on to the third row. Make one beginning chain. Turn your work. Follow the chain spaces from the previous row. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Complete this row. After finishing, the third row is done. Next, let's crochet the fourth row. Make one beginning chain. Turn your work. Then pick up the first single crochet of row 2, inserting the hook under 2 strands on the right side, that is, the side facing you. Crochet 1 single crochet. Chain 8. Continue to finish this row. After finishing, the fourth row is completed. Next, let's move on to the fifth row. Make one beginning chain. Turn your work. Then crochet along the chain spaces of the previous row. After finishing, the fifth row is completed. Now everyone, refer to the pattern. Finish crocheting the remaining rows. Pay attention. For row 6, the corresponding single crochets are also picked up and crocheted from the right side of row 4. The method is almost the same as for the single crochets in row 4. When crocheting the last row, also connect it with the corresponding motif. After completing everything, fasten off the yarn and weave in the ends. That concludes the third motif of the right front panel. Next, everyone refer to the pattern and complete the remaining motifs of the right front panel. The following motifs are all incomplete motifs. The methods have all been demonstrated before. When crocheting the last motif, pay attention to connecting it with the corresponding motif on the back piece. Below, just follow the diagram to crochet. That concludes the right front panel. Next, let's learn how to crochet the left front panel. By referring to the pattern, you can see that the left front panel is symmetrical to the right front panel. The motifs for crocheting are identical. It's just that the order is different. Below, everyone refer to the pattern chart to crochet and connect properly. That concludes the left front panel as well. Up to this point, the front panels have been fully explained. Next, let's learn how to crochet the edging. Start with hem edging, then cuff edging, and finally neckline edging. Let's start by learning how to crochet the hem edging. Crochet in rounds along the motifs of the hem. Now, let's show. Start with the first round. Join the yarn at any motif position on the side or back piece. Pick up the chain space from the picket stitch, or roughly pick up 1-2 threads. After joining the yarn, crochet 5 chains. Then move to the adjacent motif. Behind the front post double crochet. Pick up 1-2 threads. Crochet 1 slip stitch. After completing it, chain 5. In the back of the corresponding front post double crochet of the adjacent petal, crochet 1 slip stitch. Chain 5. Then in the chain space of the picket stitch, crochet 1 slip stitch. Chain 5. Crochet 1 slip stitch on the front post double crochet. Chain 5 again. Crochet 1 slip stitch on the front post double crochet of the adjacent petal. Chain 5. After finishing, crochet 1 slip stitch at the connection position of the motif. Let's take a look. This is the first round of edging for the motif. It involves crocheting slip stitches on the front post double crochets and connection positions of the motifs, as well as on the picket stitches. Chain 5 between them. Continue with the same method. Work this round completely. After finishing the last 5 chains, at the joining position where you started, crochet another slip stitch. That completes the first round. Next, let's crochet the second round. Make 1 beginning chain, then in the 3 chain spaces on the left, crochet 5 single crochets in each. After completing, continue by crocheting 1 single crochet into the picket of the motif. That is, in the same entry position as the slip stitch. Then crochet another picket. Start with 3 chains first, then pick up a strand of yarn in front, and 1 underneath. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Let's take a look. This round involves crocheting 5 single crochets into each chain space, at the picket position corresponding to the motif. Crochet 1 single crochet and 1 picket. Continue following this method until you complete the round. After finishing, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet, tighten, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the end. This completes the second round. Up to this point, the hem edging is also completed. Next, let's learn how to crochet the cuffs. The crocheting method for both cuffs is as follows. It's almost identical, except the crochet sequence is slightly different. In both cases, you join the yarn and work slip stitches and chain stitches along the motif. Some positions also require double crochets. The method for picking up stitches is basically the same as for the hem. Below, I'll demonstrate using the right sleeve as an example. Here, I'll demonstrate with a swatch. The fabric piece itself isn't important. The focus is on demonstrating the technique. Let's start with the first round. Join the yarn on the motif corresponding to the underarm. Pick up and crochet the 1-2 strands of yarn behind the corresponding stitch. Then, chain 5. Next, on the corresponding double crochet, pick up 1-2 strands of yarn from behind and slip stitch. The insertion point here can be referenced from the chart. Alternatively, you can roughly pick up 1-2 strands of yarn in this area. After completing it, chain 5 again. Next, on the 2 stitches corresponding to the adjacent petals, crochet 1 slip stitch each, chain 5 in between. After completing it, chain 5 again. Then, when you reach the motif on the back chest piece, refer to the pattern chart, and insert the hook following this method. Crochet slip stitches and chain stitches. Continue until you reach the double crochet. If you encounter an incomplete motif, pick the corresponding double crochet and work it. When you reach the corresponding position, pick the 2 single crochets of the matching motif and crochet 1 double crochet each, chain 5 in between. If you're unsure about the exact position here, you can also roughly pick a position to crochet. Next, everyone continue to refer to the chart and work this round completely. Later, when you encounter double crochets on corresponding stitches, also, pick 1-2 threads from the back and crochet. After completing it, at the starting position for joining the yarn, crochet 1 slip stitch. This completes the first round. Next, everyone refer to the chart and work the second round as well. For this round, just crochet the corresponding number of single crochets in the chain spaces. After finishing, move on to the third round. Start with chaining 3. Then, in the same position as the slip stitch from the previous round, crochet 2 double crochets. After completing them, skip 3 stitches. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Chain 3. Crochet 2 more double crochets in the same position. Then, after skipping another 3 stitches, crochet 1 slip stitch. Chain 3. And work 2 double crochets. Continue below using this method. Finish crocheting this round. After crocheting the last 2 double crochets, crochet 1 more slip stitch at the starting position. Then, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That's how you finish one side of the cuff. Next, complete the other side of the cuff as well. That concludes how to crochet the cuffs. Now let's learn how to crochet the neckline edging. Here, I'll explain using a finished product. In the first round, follow the motifs on the front and back panels, and crochet slip stitches and chain stitches correspondingly. Start by crocheting along the back panel, then crochet along the motifs on the front panel. When you reach the left side edge of the front panel, and the chain space from the starting chain, insert your hook there. When inserting into the side edge, if the side edge is made of single crochets, you can pick up 1-2 strands of yarn corresponding to the single crochet sides, or insert directly into the stitch. If it's a standing stitch, simply insert your hook into the entire standing stitch. When you encounter the chain space from the starting chain, simply insert your hook into the chain space and crochet. The technique for the next 2 rounds is the same as for the cuffs. Now everyone, refer to the pattern chart. Follow the method we learned earlier to crochet. That concludes the explanation of the neckline edging. The border crocheting has also been covered. Up to this point, the entire garment has been explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.